Actor Philip Seymour Hoffman has been found dead in his New York apartment. A friend called the emergency services. Police sources say the 46-year-old died of an apparent drug overdose. Now, the Hoffman family have released this statement, and they say, "We are devastated by the loss of our beloved Phil and appreciate the outpouring of love and support we have received from everyone." Well, the actor made his name in the 1990s in films including Boogie Nights and The Big Lebowski. He won the Best Actor Oscar for his 2005 portrayal of writer Truman Capote in the film of the same name. Now, throughout his career, he featured in independent films as well as Hollywood blockbusters like Mission Impossible 3, and his latest role was in the Hunger Games series of films. Well, as well as films, he also starred in Broadway plays and won 2 Tony Awards. Well, Norm Wilner is a senior film writer and critic with Now magazine, and he joins us from Toronto via Skype. Well, Norm, thank you very much for joining us on the show. Now, Philip Seymour Hoffman, undoubtedly a very versatile actor. He starred in major action films. He went on to art house pictures as well and included Broadway plays in his body of work. He seemed to steal the scene no matter the character he played. In your opinion, what would he be most known for?
Well, the Oscar for Capote means that that's what most people will know him for, simply because it'll be on, it's the beginning of every line in the obituary and everything else. He was probably seen by more people in Mission Impossible 3, which was a hugely successful film, where he played the villain and was remarkably good at it. I think his best performance, his single best performance, is in a film called Synecdoche, New York, which was written and directed by Charlie Kaufman, who wrote Adaptation and Being John Malkovich, and he found something about Hoffman, to my mind, that no one else did, which was the incredible sadness and hurt that Hoffman could project at a moment's notice. He was an incredibly talented, powerful actor. I'm still kind of grappling with the idea that he's dead.
Yes, it really is quite shocking news. Now, many knew him as a brilliant actor, as you say. He played very defective, disturbed roles very well, but he also kept his own personal demons well hidden. Although in recent months, he did talk about his personal struggles, didn't he?
Well, he had come out as having, or acknowledged as having spent some, I think it was a 10-day course of rehab sometime in May of last year, 2013, for... It's been reported, a number of different things have been reported, actually. The story gets a bit muddy, but I believe pills and heroin, snorting heroin were mentioned. And so when the news broke today, it's that, you can't help but think of that. But yeah, I never really spoke with him. When we met a number of times at the Toronto Film Festival, our paths would cross. We had a sort of just a casual nodding acquaintance in the hallway, and I admired him immensely. But I can't claim to know what his demons were, or whether he...
No one really can, I suppose, because he did struggle with them by himself. Let's go back to his Oscar-winning portrayal of Capote. What was it about that role that won him that award?
Well, I think the Oscar for such a performance tends to go to people who are almost a caricature of a character. Capote is someone who's fairly vividly remembered as having a particular voice and a particular stature. And Hoffman played the person behind the caricature, which I thought was really interesting. He was playing a younger version of Capote rather than the socialite, the sort of the world-famous Truman Capote. This is someone who was a short story writer and was just starting to work on a book that would define him. And the film only concentrates on that small period of his life when he was investigating the Clutter family murders. And Hoffman found a way of making himself seem tiny. He was a big guy physically, and he was an imposing physical person. But Capote was very small, and between the way they shot the film and the way he carried himself, you believed it. He disappeared into this tiny little man. He created a more halting voice. He created a sort of a furtive way of looking at people, and only really opened up when he was with characters who knew very well, like Catherine Keener's, oh God, I've gone blank, the woman who wrote Harper Lee, To Kill a Mockingbird. And it was an amazing transformation, and that's the sort of thing that the Oscars tend to get all excited about. But it's just a really good performance of a human being instead of a cartoon character, which maybe other actors might have tried.
Brilliant, brilliant man. Norm, thank you very much for sharing your insights with us on Philip Seymour Hoffman. Norm Wilner, the senior film writer and critic with Now magazine.